don't tell us they found your feather boa.
How are you, Constance? How are you, Gabrielle?
You needn't shout today, my dear.
It's Wednesdays. I hear perfectly Wednesdays.
Oh, but it's Thursday.
Oh, dear. My bad. I'll make an exception just this once.
Oh, come along, Dickie, come along. Oh, stop that barking. What a racket you're making. Oh, come along. We've come to see the longest boa in all of Paris. And the handsomest man, too.
Constance, it's not a question of my boa today, nor Paul Adolf. It's a question of the future of the human race.
You think it has a future?
Don't make silly jokes. Sit down, and listen to me. Today we must make a decision which may alter the fate of the world.
Couldn't we do it tomorrow? I want to wash my slippers. Oh, now, Dickie.
We haven't a moment to waste. Where's Josephine?
Dickie! Go ahead, you were listening. Oh, what is it, Dickie? Oh, you want to sit down to really, is that? Oh, go on, Dickie. Jump up.
Constance, we love you, as you know, and we love Dickie. But please don't plump him in. Oh, this is a serious matter, so let's stop being childish for once.
What does that mean, if you please?
Means Dickie. We love and fuss over him as if he were still alive, but please don't plump him in my lap when I'm settling the future of mankind. His basket is in the corner. He knows where it is. He can just go and sit in it.
Oh, you're against Dickie, too. You, too. Oh, no, Dickie, you. No. No, Dickie, no.
Constance, I'm not at least against Dickie. I adore Dickie, but you know as well as I that he's only a convention. A beautiful convention, but he doesn't have to bark all the time. Besides, it's you that spoils him. The time you went to go visit your niece, we got along marvelously together. He didn't bark, he didn't tear things, he didn't even eat. But when you're with him, one can pay attention to nothing else. I am not going to take Dickie on my lap at a solemn moment like this. No, not for anything in the world, and that's that.
Constance, my dear. I'll take Dickie in my lap. He loves to sit in my lap now, don't you, darling?
Kindly stop putting on those angelic airs, Gabrielle. I know you very well. You're much too sweet to be sincere. Why, there have been plenty of time where I made believe that I'd brought Dickie when really I'd left him at home. And you cuddle and pet him just the same.
I do animals.
If you adored animals, you wouldn't cuddle them when they weren't there. It's a form of hypocrisy.
Constance, Gabrielle has just as much as Gabrielle has no right
to do what she does. And do you know what she does? She invites people to have tea with us. People whom we know nothing about. People who exist in her imagination.
And you don't think that's an existence?
I don't invite them at all. They come by themselves. What am I to do?
You might introduce us.
If they're imaginary, there's no point in meeting them, is there, Constance?
Well, of course they're imaginary. Who likes to have imaginary people staring at one, especially strangers?
They're really very nice.
Tell me one thing, Gabrielle. Are they here now or not?
Am I allowed to speak? Or is this going to be the same argument about inoculating Josephine's cat when we didn't even get to the subject at all?
Never, I'd never do a thing like that to you, Dickie. Not to you.
All right, stop crying. I'll take Dickie on my lap.
No, he won't go now. Oh, how could you two be so cruel? Oh, don't you think I know about Dickie? Don't you think I'd rather have him be here and alive than wholly frisky around the way he used to? Well, Gabrielle has a birth and you have your Adolf, but I only have my Dickie.
All right, let's not get ourselves worked up over nothing. I'll take Dickie in my lap.
No, he won't go now. And besides, I didn't bring him anyway.
Well, if you'd let me get a word in, you'd know by now that terrible thing has happened. Well, today, exactly at noon, I discovered a horrible plot. There is a group of men who intend to tear down the whole city.
Oh, is that all?
But I don't understand, Amelia. Why should men want to tear it down when they themselves who put it up?
Gabrielle, you are so innocent. But there are people in this world who want to destroy everything. I'm speaking primarily on the male sex.
Aurelia, once you talk sex in front of Gabrielle.
There are two sexes.
Gabrielle is a virgin, Aurelia.
She can't be that innocent as all that. She keeps canaries.
I think you're being quite cruel about men, Aurelia. Men are big and beautiful and as loyal as dogs. It's true, I prefer not to marry, but I have heard excellent reports from my friends who had the opportunity to observe them closely.
Gabrielle, you are still living in a dream. One day you will wake up as I have and you will see the tide has turned. Men are changing back into beasts. Just look at them, snuffling their soups like pigs, tearing their meat like tigers, crunching their lettuce like crocodiles. A man doesn't take your hand nowadays, he gives you his paw.
And would it bother you all that if they did turn back into animals? Personally, I think it's a good idea. I'd like to see them like that. I think they'd be sweet. And no to be right about men. There have been plenty who haven't changed a bit. There's that senator who bows to her every time he passes in front of the palace. And he takes off his hat. And that's perfectly true, Aurelia. He's always pushing an empty baby carriage and he always stops and bows.
Don't be taken in, Gabrielle. It's all make-believe, and all we can expect from these make-believe men, it's itself make-believe. Don't let this senator with an empty baby carriage pull the wool over your eyes.
He's really the soul of courtesy. He seems very correct.
Those are the worst, Gabrielle. Beware!
They don't hurt anybody in that way. And you know why I barricade my door at night.
Well, why do you barricade your door at night and make your friends meow every time you let your friends out? Incidentally, we must make an interesting sight, Gabrielle and I, meowing like a couple of tomcats.
Well, you both need a meow at the same time. One at a time would be perfectly fine. And you know why I do it? It's because they're murderers.
I don't see what prevents murderers from meowing like anybody else. Why are there murderers?
Because they're thieves.
And why are there thieves? Why is there almost nothing but thieves?
Because they worship money. Because money is king.
Aha! We've come to it. Because we live in the reign of the golden calf. Did you realize that, Gabrielle? Men now publicly worship money.
Oh, awful! The authorities have been notified.
The authorities do it themselves.
And has anyone talked to the bishop?
Nowadays, only money talks to bishop. And now you see why I brought you here today. The world has gone out of its mind. Unless we do something, humanity is doomed. Have you any suggestions, Constance? What do you suggest, Gabrielle?
Now, how can Gabrielle say anything until she's consulted her voices? I could go right home and consult them, and we can meet up again after dinner.
There's no time for that. Besides, your voices are not real voices.
How dare you say a thing like that?
Well, where do your voices come from? Your sewing machine still?
Not at all. They moved on to my hot water bottle and much nicer that way. They don't chatter anymore. They gurgle. But they haven't been a bit nice to me lately. Last night they kept telling me to let my canaries out. Let them out, let them out, let them out! And did you? I opened the cage, but they wouldn't go.
I wouldn't call that real voices. Objects talk. Everyone knows that. It's the principle of the phonograph. But to ask a hot water bottle for advice is just silly. What do hot water bottles know? No, nothing. All we have to consult is our own judgment.
Well, go on, Aurelia. Since you've invited us here, you've doubtless made up your mind.
Yes, I planned the whole thing out. All I needed to find was the source of the infection, and today I found it.
Where?
You'll see soon enough. I baited a trap. Soon, The rats will be here.
Rats?
Oh, don't be alarmed, dear. They're still in human form.
Heavens, what are you going to do with them?
That's just the question. Suppose I get these wicked men here all at once in my cellar. Have I the right to exterminate them?
To kill them? What's your scheme, Amelia?
That's a secret.
Just a moment!
Gabrielle, are your friends here or not?
I'm not allowed to say.
I know they are. I know they are.
Or else you wouldn't be making those faces.
What is the problem now?
I am simply asking Gabrielle if her friends are here or not.
May I ask what the difference is if her friends are in the room or not?
Simply this. If they're here, I am not saying another word. I am certainly not committing myself to murder in the presence of third parties. Whether they exist or not, I'm leaving.
Be so good as to sit down. I cannot let you leave.
No, this has gone too far. And I'm taking Gabrielle with me.